Stop for a second and look at this number. 87. Overall, 87 tornadoes have been confirmed during the April outbreak sequence, the most significant continuous tornado outbreak sequence in the United States in 2026 so far. 87 confirmed tornadoes from one outbreak sequence, the EF4 in Enid, the EF3 through Kankakee that killed 3 people, the EF3 in Mineral Wells with 145 mph winds. The 4. 5-inch hail in Johnson County, Texas, potentially the largest hailstone of the entire season. 3 separate moderate risk days issued by the SPC in the same sequence. This is what April 2026 delivered to the central United States in the span of roughly 2 weeks. And then, silence. There have been no notable tornado events recorded in the month of May so far. 0, from 87 to 0 in the span of 4 days. That silence is not the atmosphere recovering. It is the atmosphere reloading. And based on the SPC's Day 4-8 discussion released just yesterday morning, the next impact zone has already been confirmed. And it is not where most people are looking right now. It has shifted. It has shifted fast. And the communities in its new path have been watching Oklahoma and Kansas get hit all month from a distance, possibly feeling like this season isn't their fight. It is about to become their fight. Today is Sunday, May 3rd. Let me tell you exactly what is confirmed and exactly where the threat is heading. The entire April outbreak sequence was centered on a specific geographic corridor. Look at the cities that got hit. Enid, Oklahoma, Kankakee, Illinois, Rochester, Minnesota, Mineral Wells, Texas, Foraker, Oklahoma, Lena, Illinois, Wichita, Kansas, Iowa, Wisconsin, Missouri. The damage corridor ran primarily from the southern plains northeastward through the Midwest, the traditional tornado alley spine extending into the upper Midwest. That corridor is now quiet. The blocking upper-level low parked over Ontario and Quebec has pushed the active storm track east and suppressed new development over the Central Plains. And as that pattern evolves this week, the energy that drives severe weather is reorganizing, not disappearing, but reorganizing, around a new southern stream feature that is going to target a completely different part of the country. Southwesterly deep layer flow will increase from the southern Rockies to the mid-south on Day 4, Tuesday, May 5th, as a southern stream shortwave trough over the southwest merges with an upper trough over the plains and upper Midwest. At the surface, low pressure will develop over the southern plains and slowly progress east into Arkansas as a cold front develops southeast across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and the lower Ohio Valley. The southern Rockies to the mid-south, Oklahoma, Arkansas, the lower Ohio Valley. That is the new impact zone, not Iowa, not Wisconsin, not the Kansas-Nebraska border. The corridor that runs through southeast Oklahoma, northeast Texas, southwest Arkansas, northwest Louisiana, the Arklatex, and extends northeast through the Tennessee Valley. This matters enormously because those communities, Texarkana, Shreveport, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, have spent the entire month of April watching the tornado coverage focus somewhere else. Their guard is lower. Their storm preparation muscle memory has not been exercised the way it has been for people in Kansas and Oklahoma, and the atmosphere is about to shift into their backyard. Let me explain precisely why Tuesday's setup deserves the label dangerous pattern, and not just another round of storms. Head of the front, rich Gulf moisture will return northward, and dew points of 60 to near 70 degrees Fahrenheit are forecast by Tuesday afternoon and evening across southeast Oklahoma and the Arklatex. Timing of thunderstorm development is a bit uncertain as shortwave ridging may overspread the southern plains vicinity through the afternoon. However, forcing for ascent should increase with the approach of the surface front, and as a low-level jet increases Tuesday evening. 3 ingredients, all confirmed, all dangerous. First, the moisture. Dew points of 60 to near 70 degrees in the Arklatex by Tuesday afternoon. I want to make sure everyone understands what a 70-degree dew point means in practical terms. Dew point is the measure of how much moisture is actually in the air, not just humidity relative to temperature, but absolute moisture content. A 70-degree dew point is tropical. It is the kind of air that makes a June afternoon in Houston feel suffocating. In late April through early May in the Arklatex, a 70-degree dew point is significantly above what is normal. It means the atmosphere is carrying an extraordinary amount of water vapor, fuel, that a developing thunderstorm can tap into and convert into explosive updraft growth. Second, the wind shear. The merging of the southern stream shortwave with the plains trough produces deep layer wind shear across the threat zone. Wind shear, the change in wind speed and direction with height, is what makes thunderstorms rotate. Without wind shear, a thunderstorm is just a storm. With sufficient wind shear, a thunderstorm becomes a supercell. And in Tuesday's environment, the deep layer flow increasing from the southern Rockies to the mid-south is going to provide that rotation-enabling wind shear directly over the Arklatex in southeast Oklahoma. Third, the nocturnal low-level jet. This is the ingredient that transforms a concerning setup into a genuinely dangerous one. Forcing for ascent should increase with the approach of the surface front, and as a low-level jet increases Tuesday evening. The low-level jet, a concentrated ribbon of fast-moving low-altitude wind that strengthens dramatically. After sunset, is one of the most important features in severe weather meteorology and one of the least understood by the general public. When it strengthens over a moist, unstable atmosphere after dark, it dramatically increases both the tornado potential for any storms in the warm sector and the squall line organization potential for storms along the cold front. Tuesday evening into Tuesday overnight is the dangerous window. The SPC's confirmed day 4 to 8 language points to a specific geographic footprint for Tuesday's threat. Let me name the communities directly. Southeast Oklahoma, Idabel, Broken Bow, McAllister, Poteau. These communities sit directly in the path of the frontal boundary that develops Tuesday. They are in the warm sector ahead of the cold front, where the richest moisture and highest instability will be concentrated. They need to be on full alert from Tuesday afternoon onward. The Arklatex, Texarkana, Shreveport, Marshall, Longview, Tyler, Lufkin, Northeast Texas, and Southwest Arkansas represent the geographic heart of where the 70-degree dew points and developing surface low converge. Historically, the Arklatex is one of the most underrated severe weather corridors in America, not because it doesn't get hit, but because it doesn't get the same media coverage as Oklahoma and Kansas. Tornadoes in this region are often rain-wrapped and forested. Terrain makes them hard to see. The same dynamics that make Dixie Alley events deadly apply here. The Mid-South Corridor, Fort Smith, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, Jackson, Tennessee. These communities sit northeast of the primary development zone, but directly in the path of any storms that organize and track northeast with the flow. By Tuesday night, if supercells fire along the dry line and cold front in Oklahoma and Texas, they will track, they always track, toward the northeast, toward Arkansas, toward Tennessee, potentially overnight. The new SPC conditional intensity group system means that when a CIG2 tornado indicator appears on the outlook for Tuesday, it signals that if a tornado forms in that environment, it will likely be EF2 or stronger. Emergency managers should plan accordingly. EF2 or stronger. That is the threshold that destroys well-constructed homes, takes roofs completely off, rolls vehicles, and produces the kinds of damage surveys that dominate news coverage for days. It is the threshold that the April outbreak sequence exceeded multiple times. And it is the threshold that Tuesday's atmospheric environment, 70-degree dew points, merging shortwave energy, increasing nocturnal jet, is capable of supporting. I want to dedicate specific space to the overnight component of Tuesday's threat because it is, in my assessment, the single most dangerous aspect of this entire setup. Every significant fatality in the April outbreak sequence came from one of two specific circumstances: a mobile home or a nighttime storm. The man in Kent County, Michigan, killed by wake-low winds after midnight. The PDS tornado warning in Stone County, Arkansas at 10:58 p.m. The squall line racing through Missouri and Illinois at 2 a.m. Tuesday's setup specifically features a low-level jet that increases through the evening. That nocturnal strengthening means the most explosive storm development potential arrives after dark, when warning lead times are effectively reduced because people are sleeping, sirens are inaudible through closed windows, and rain-wrapped tornadoes cannot be seen approaching. Public severe weather outlooks are issued when a significant or widespread outbreak is expected, especially for tornadoes. From November to March, they can also be issued for any threat of significant tornadoes in the nighttime hours, noting the lower awareness and greater danger of tornadoes at that time. Lower awareness and greater danger. Those 4 words from the SPC's own operational documentation describe exactly why Tuesday night deserves preparation that begins today, not Tuesday afternoon when the first storms are already forming. If you live in the Arklatex, southeast Oklahoma, or anywhere in the Mid-South Corridor, download a weather app today, Sunday, that will ring like a phone call when tornado warnings are issued for your GPS location. Not a banner notification, not a silent push alert, a ring that wakes you up. Test it today, make sure it works. And identify the lowest interior room in your home before Tuesday night, not during the warning. While Tuesday is the primary concern for the week, I want to make sure nobody in the southeast is caught off guard by what is happening right now. Today, this morning. Strong to severe storms are possible across southern Georgia into northern and central Florida this morning into the early evening. A cold front extending across the northern Florida peninsula into the Gulf will shift south and east through the afternoon as a focus of severe thunderstorm development. A slight risk was maintained across southern Georgia into the eastern Florida panhandle and northern and central Florida for the main threats of damaging wind and large hail. Level 2, slight risk. Southern Georgia, Florida panhandle, northern and central Florida. Right now, as this video uploads, The same frontal system that delivered drought-breaking rain to Georgia and Florida this past week has not finished moving through. Its trailing edge is still producing severe thunderstorm potential across northern Florida and southern Georgia through this afternoon. There's a narrow zone in North Florida where marginally stronger low-level shear and boundary layer destabilization may favorably align mid to late morning for a higher tornado risk. Overall confidence is low in favorable overlap, with potential largely occurring outside of peak daytime heating and with the low-level jet beginning to shift northward. Low confidence but real. A narrow zone in North Florida with higher tornado potential mid to late morning today. If you are in Tallahassee, Gainesville, Jacksonville, or anywhere in north central Florida, keep your radar open through early afternoon. The threat is not high-end, but it is confirmed. Additionally, a few strong thunderstorms are possible across parts of northern and central Missouri and central Illinois on Sunday. Missouri and Illinois, communities still assessing damage from April's outbreaks, have additional storm chances today. These are not expected to reach severe levels widely, but isolated strong storms are possible. Here's your complete picture as of 6 a.m. on Sunday, May 3rd, 2026. The April outbreak sequence produced 87 confirmed tornadoes, 3 moderate risk days, an EF4, 2 EF3s, 4, 5-inch hail, and multiple confirmed deaths. May has been quiet so far. 0 notable tornado events in the first 2 days of the month. That quiet ends Tuesday. A southern stream shortwave merging with a plains trough on Tuesday, May 5th, will develop a surface low over the southern plains, drive it into Arkansas, and deliver dew points of 60 to near 70 degrees to southeast Oklahoma and the Arklatex by Tuesday afternoon. The low-level jet increases through Tuesday evening, raising the threat for organized severe thunderstorm development, including tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds in the evening to overnight window. The new impact zones are confirmed. Southeast Oklahoma, the Arklatex corridor, Texarkana, Shreveport, Longview, Tyler, Fort Smith, and the Mid-South Northeast through Little Rock, Jonesboro, and Memphis. These communities have been watching the April outbreaks from the sidelines. Tuesday brings the fight to them. Your action list is simple and specific. Today, if you are in North Florida or southern Georgia, watch the radar through mid-afternoon. If you are in Missouri or Illinois, be aware of additional storm chances today, tonight, and tomorrow. If you are anywhere in the Arklatex, southeast Oklahoma, or the Mid-South corridor, set up your overnight weather alerts. Find your shelter. Charge your devices. Do not wait until Tuesday afternoon to make your plan. The new CIG system from the SPC gives clearer picture of potential risks, not just whether storms happen, but how impactful they could be. A CIG2 tornado indicator means that if a tornado forms, it will likely be EF2 or stronger. Watch for CIG2 indicators when the Tuesday outlook upgrades later today and tomorrow. That indicator tells you the ceiling on what the atmosphere is capable of, and in an environment with near 70-degree dew points and an increasing nocturnal jet over the Arklatex, that ceiling is high enough to matter. The tornado threat has shifted. The new impact zones are confirmed. And the communities in the path of Tuesday's setup have today and Monday to be ready. Don't wait. Start now.